Hey, I'm Emily with the Wix Collective, and today we're going to be talking all about Wix email marketing. So first of all, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of Wix email marketing, why I think it's awesome, what I really love about it, and then we're going to dive right in and get through a step-by-step tutorial of how to utilize Wix email marketing. This video would be perfect for you if you are considering using Wix, or maybe you're using something like MailChimp or Constant Contact and you're considering switching. This will give you a really good idea of what to expect and also hopefully answer your questions about Wix email marketing if it's something you've already tried to dive into. So let's get started. All right, if you know me, you know that I write down all my notes the old-fashioned way in an actual notebook. So I've got my notebook here, and we're just going to go through step by step, talk about first, introduction to Wix email marketing. So you probably know this. Why is email marketing important? Well, it is the most successful way to reach your clients. Okay. So open rates are awesome because in comparison with like things like social media, your open rates are incredible. So let me just give you an example. On a business Facebook page, only 6% of your audience will actually see your post. And that doesn't even count like engaging with your post. That just means they scroll by and they actually see your post. So if you have 100 followers, only 6 people are going to see your post. Super discouraging because I think we all know it's really hard to, we put a lot of work into social media, but email open rates are about 30%. So you send an email and that person opens that email. If you send an email to 100, 30 people are going to open it. That is the standard email open rate. So if you are on the fence about whether or not you need an email list, this is me telling you you need an email list, okay? We can talk more about opt-ins. I have a whole video on opt-ins and how Wix is great for providing an opt-in for your audience in exchange for their email address. So more on that. A couple of reasons why I love Wix is pretty much the reasons I love Wix in general for everything, not just email marketing. I think that keeping things really simple and clean is really important because I think we've all like been through those processes where we have like an app for this, an app for that, an app for this. With Wix, email marketing is totally integrated in your site. There's no downloading and uploading contacts, having a contact list in MailChimp, having a contact list in, your Wix, and then trying to merge them. You have everything in one place. I love it. Also, their customer relationship management software is great. So that would be called the CRM. Behind the scenes is awesome. You can just do so much with it. I'm really, really impressed with it. So we can talk more about that later, but just know that the simplicity is my number one thing that I love about it. Next is ease of use. I've used MailChimp, Constant Contact. They wanted to make me pull my hair out. Okay. Constant Contact was my least favorite. MailChimp was okay, but I needed something that was just easier, simpler, made sense to me. That is Wix. All right, let's jump right into talking about how to make this happen. All right, so here we are in the Wix dashboard. You're going to find the marketing, email marketing under marketing and SEO. This is just a sample site that I have up here just for showing you and just for previewing purposes. So this is what it looks like when you start brand new. All right. So here, I have an entire video on here on YouTube about how to make your emails beautiful with Canva. If you're wanting some like really fancy stuff that's like really branded and gorgeous, go watch that video. Otherwise, I'm just going to give you a very simple overview of this whole process and how to make an email in the Wix email marketing. Okay, so let's go to more templates. You can choose any of these templates you would like to. I'm going to just choose to make one from scratch because I always do. Their templates are not my favorite thing in the world, okay? So here you're going to double click and change any of these elements over here. So here's like your email design workspace, kind of like your artboard. So I like to think of it in as what I like to think of it as. Word recall, I tell you what. I want to just tell you right now, I'm like 8 months pregnant. So if I'm out of breath and I sometimes forget words, just bear with me, okay? I got to make these videos anyways. I'm like, hey, People get it, right? People totally understand. So this is like your work area. And then over here is like your menu and your toolbox that pops up as you are creating an email. So for example, I'm going to click here on the header, double click on it, change the wording to whatever I want it to be. My first email. Cool. We can also change the format, the fonts, bold, size, whatever. Add dynamic value. This is something really important I want to talk to you about. If you want to add a dynamic value, what that means is it will, for each person that it sends an email to, it will grab some information from them. So like if you want to say, hey, Emily, glad you're here. Then you go ahead and you click select from list, contact first name. This is very important too, fallback value. So if they, for some reason, don't have a first name listed, you don't have to be like, hey, space. So you want to just say friend. So say, hey friend, this is my first email. Okay, so this is basically just like a little tiny piece of code that references that variable on your contact list, okay? Let's hit apply. I do want to mention too, when you preview or test this email, it's not going to show that person's name, okay? It's going to show this particular little snippet of code. So don't get freaked out. If you send it to your list, it will reference their name. If you just send it as a preview, it will not. All right, another note about the header has to stay at the top at all times. You always have to have an email header. Why? Because when the person opens the email, it has to have something of content right at the top so that they know what to expect in the rest of the email. It's also really good that it's this way because do you ever get those emails where it says, click here to download images instead of like, it doesn't show all the images at first, it says click here to download. This piece of information will show first. So if that happens to your email recipient, you need to have a good subject or like a heading line to kind of intrigue them to click the images. So just keep that in mind, okay? Awesome. And you can change the size of it, whatever you need to do. Let's click apply. Here we can change photos. We can add a link to the photos. Again, go watch my video on how to make everything beautiful in Canva for a more in-depth review or tutorial. Here we go. We've got our message here. So we can start writing our message. Obviously, you can add links, dynamic values. It's really pretty easy. So click apply. Here is your button. Make sure that your URLs work before you send your emails because after you publish it, you can't go back and change it. So how do I know that? I've done it before for some of my clients. Sometimes you learn lessons the hard way, right? Okay, so here, if you want to change the design of something, you can change the color of the button here, whatever you want to do. All right, let's click apply. Here, you can edit this bar. It depends on your Ascend plan features. Okay, so if you're just on the free Ascend plan, you're going to have this bar here that says created with Ascend by Wix, okay? Ascend by Wix is Wix's marketing and like contact app. So anything that has to do with customer like relationship management or email marketing, automations, workflows, things like that, those they give you on the free plan or your basic plan. They give you a free number of like emails. They give you a free number of addresses you're able to send to. They give you a free number of automations, which we can talk more about automations later. They're like my favorite thing. But as your business grows, you're going to want to upgrade. So when you upgrade your Ascend plan, you can remove some of this branding here on the bottom if you'd like. You can take off the social share, add a link to your website, your phone number, your address for your business. Click apply. All right, we also have the option to add different columns. We can talk more about in that Canva video if you're interested in just knowing everything there is to know about email marketing and making them beautiful. Links, logos, social, dividers, buttons, images. You can add anything you want to emails, basically. So while we're talking about editing, let me tell you something really important, okay? There is no undo or redo button here. It kills me. It makes me so sad. So just know you're not crazy. When you make a problem, when you make a mistake, you can't undo. We're all in this boat together. Let's go request that feature from Wix because I really need it. Okay. The undo button is awesome. So, okay. So I want to mention that. Also over here, just speaking about themes and backgrounds. So if you want to change the theme of your email, you can come over here and it will just go ahead and change it to a more elegant style, a more fun style, a more natural style. Okay. I like super basic. Okay. I'm so boring. That's all I know. Okay. Let's go with, I like this one. Wow. So exciting. But here you can also change the background of your email. So if you wanted it to be like that, I don't know what that is, fuzzy dots or fish, you're totally good. Or you could upload your own. So let's just go with this one, okay? You can also customize the inner background here. This is the inner background. We could change it to blue. That is terrible. Everything about this is so bad. So we're not going to, okay? Well, let's go back. So use your creative freedom anywhere here that you like. Just know the options are pretty limitless, especially if you decide to hop in Canva and make something beautiful. All right, let's go to preview and test. This is something that I recommend you do with every single email that you create. Number one, make sure that it looks good on preview. Make sure that it looks good on mobile because I mean, I check my email all day on mobile, right? So to make sure that it looks good on mobile. You cannot make changes in mobile like you can with the editor. Like with the editor, you can edit the desktop and then edit the mobile. Here, you have to just go back into the desktop, change everything about it, and then you can come check it out here in the desktop version. So you're a little limited there, but honestly, I've only ran into like one issue where the header wasn't lining up correctly. It's doable, okay? So when you send a test email, you can send it to yourself. Just know that it's going to come in with this particular piece of code snippet, okay? And you can change like the from and reply to email. All right. So now when you are ready to go back, click back to editing, click next. Adding recipients. Okay. So you could add individual people here. We could also select all or members, okay? So these right here are different labels that we have given the contacts on the website. So again, as I mentioned, this is a sample site I'm creating just for the sake of preview and showing you how to operate Wix email marketing. So here, I want to mention this. This shows only your active contacts, okay? So basically Wix is trying to determine like, hey, these are people who are actually active and these are people who are not. They say that it can help your open rate by showing only active contacts. I'm not sure I agree with that. I have clients that use it, clients that don't. I can't really tell the difference as of right now. So I turn them off. We have really clean email lists. We go through and we delete spam ones all the time. It hasn't hurt our open rate. So at this point, and I could be wrong and I might change my mind, as long as your email list is pretty clean, it doesn't have a lot of spam, then go ahead and show active or just turn that off. Okay. Next would be, who do you want to send this to? Everyone. So go ahead and click everyone. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to tell you how to do some labels and do some custom audiences and retargeting in a second, but I'm going to get you on to the next step first, okay? In case you're new to this and you don't really want to do retargeting or special labels. Okay, so here we have publish and send. This is where you need to make sure that everything is perfectly right, or you're going to be really sad when you hit send and then you have to go back and be like, oops, I'm so sorry. Please disregard that email or whatever. So here's our subject line. Subject line is so important. Say something catchy, say something intriguing. And, you know, it used to be like, state exactly what the email is about in the subject line. Now you just got to try to be like, quippy, I guess, like, did you see this? Or Emily, we missed you, something like that. and then make sure your from name and your reply to email is what you want. Then you can either click send now or schedule. Now, I love the schedule feature. And with a send, the basic, the free plan, you are not allowed to schedule emails. So you probably want to upgrade if you want to schedule your emails out, because I don't know about you, I love to batch do things. So like I'm going to batch out all my emails at once, schedule them, let them go. So that might be something to look into. Okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to show you some really cool stuff with labels, okay, and contacts. So if you are new to email and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, don't worry. This is going to come further down the line and it's going to be really, really helpful. So we have our contact list. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go back to email marketing. I'm just going to let this email sit here. I'm not really ready to publish it yet. So it's just in my drafts right here. I'm going to go to the contacts and show you what I'm talking about when it comes to labels and contacts. Okay. I have a whole video on the Wix CRM system that I'm working on. Might be already here on YouTube, depends on when you're watching this video, but check that out because that'll give you a really good explanation of what you're looking for. So here we have our contacts list, okay? It's just a brief introduction to Wix CRM, customer relationship management. That's what that stands for. So you probably don't want to put all your contacts on your phone or like a spreadsheet or whatever. So Wix has housed this great contact system in place for you. So they take anyone who subscribed to your site, anyone that you've uploaded, you know, if you have like an email list, you can upload that here. And they organize and keep track of your contacts for you. You can click on this person and you can see an overview about them. So you can see when they signed up to your site, any attachments or labels that you've added to them in the past, notes, any subscriptions that they have subscribed to on your site. You can also add tasks and reminders for yourself or your team to, you know, in regards to this contact. You can also have them on a workflow. There are so many things. So totally different video for another time, because that's just completely overwhelming at this point. The ones that I want to focus on at this time are labels. Okay, so let's add a label to this person. Let's say that I met this person at a conference. So I'm going to just type in conference. Okay, and then whatever I click on, you know, these little boxes here is going to add that label to that person. So that's a conference person. Okay, cool. Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to just send this. We're going to pretend like I have more people on this list, okay? Not just myself. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go back to marketing and SEO. No, okay, wait. I want to just show you one more thing in the contacts list. Okay, so here we are in all contacts, all 2 contacts. And I think there might be a duplicate. I don't know what you think. But what I can do is I can filter by people who have, we can create a new filter. So we can choose a filter by, you know, any of these things: subscription status, phone number, position, labels. Let's click on labels. So we have one label created, right? The label is, or are, see my conference one is showing up here. Okay, so you can see here, like this is the labels you can choose from: contact, subscriptions, contacted me. Where is our conference label? I'm going to refresh this page. Okay, let's try this again. New filter. We're going to go to labels. Conference, there it is. Okay. So then we'll click apply and it will just pop up with that one person. Okay, cool. So how does this apply in email? Well, let me zoom in again so you can actually see what's going on here. We're going to go back to email marketing. We're just going to send that email to the person who we labeled as conference. Okay, so here is our email. We can click edit. Look at those beautiful stripes. Okay, next, because we have everything done here, what we're going to do is we're going to select conference. So that's just going to send to the people who we've labeled as conference. Cool, huh? So then we'll click next, and then it takes us again to that page where we can publish and send. Something I really am excited about is email retargeting. So I'm sure you've heard of that. It's like, okay, so Let's say that we send an email to like 10 people, okay? And 8 of those people opened it. Now we know those 8 people are like way more serious than those 2 that didn't, right? So maybe we should retarget those 8 just a little bit harder than the others, okay? Because they're more apt to be more engaged with our emails. How are we going to do that? So here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to show you how to view your email analytics, select the people who have opened it, and then send to just those contacts. Okay, so here we are again back in our email marketing dashboard. You can see that I've sent this to my one person, me, and so I'm gonna click on that. This is where you're gonna see your email statistics, okay? I love this about Wix. They give you a really good idea of what's happening with your email marketing, each campaign that you send out, okay? So here we have 1 delivered, 1 open, 1 clicked. Wow, 100%? We're doing amazing. So let's look at the email recipients. Hey, look, there's me. So we can see that there's 1 sent. Let's see it delivered. Okay, so we can make sure everything's going through okay. This person opened the email. This person clicked the email. So we know it's like, hey, they not only read our content, but they clicked on it and went to our site. So pretty cool. They also have social statistics. So you can see like, share on Facebook and stuff. No, that's not what we're talking about right now. So we're going to look here at the email recipients. So let's say we wanted to send it to everyone who opened the email. So let's click opened. Okay, this person is serious about our content. So what we're going to do is we're going to click download. It's going to download as a CSV file. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new email. And for this email, I want to target those people who specifically opened this last email. So let's go to email marketing. Let's just use ourselves one of these pretty templates. Her love is a gift. Happy Mother's Day. Okay, perfect. So let's say everything's perfect on this email. Let's click next. What we're going to do is we're going to click import contacts. And we're going to import that CSV file that we just downloaded, okay? So here we go. We're going to upload the CSV file. Next, I'm just going to drag it over from my downloads. Make sure it's the right one. Okay, don't want to send it to anyone I don't mean to. Here we go. I'm going to mark as subscribers because that person definitely is. Click next. Now, Wix is not going to duplicate these contacts because it's going to say, oh, hey, I already have her in there. So I'm not going to duplicate it, but I am going to ask you to, number 1, they're going to ask us to match the names. So Wix contact fields, this is going to be first name. This is going to be, we don't have one for the time. We don't have one for the event. Okay, well, we're going to click next. Okay, so here it's going to add a label to your contacts. What we want to do is add a label called opened initial email. I don't know what you want to say. You can click tab, import. Okay, so it said it updated an existing contact. Perfect. Okay, so here we are. It's updating our contacts. Here we go. Open initial email. I want to resend this to them. Okay, retarget them. And that is what you need to click. So click next. And then schedule or send now. So that is how you retarget someone in the Wix email marketing side of things. I think it's awesome. This is definitely something that we're going to be using for my clients in the future because email marketing, as I said before, is extremely beneficial. The open rate is amazing and it's great for growing your business and creating business relationships, especially outside of social media. Wix email marketing is awesome. I absolutely love it. It's been nothing but good to me in the past with me and my clients. And so I would highly recommend it to you. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. But the best way for you to get your questions answered would be to join the Wix Collective. So the Wix Collective is my monthly group where I work one-on-one with you, helping you, answering your questions about building Wix websites. I've got one-on-one Voxer access to me, and that's available right now in the current setup that I have that might change in the future depending upon how communication goes, but all of my videos are available to you. I want to teach you everything that I know because I really believe in Wix. That is the best website design platform there is. I've seen so many people glean from it. I've seen so many businesses thrive from it. And I would love to have that be your story too. So I'd love to just be your guide along the way. I've been building websites for 9 years. I wish I would have had someone I could talk to about getting my questions answered instead of just sitting on the phone with support for hours. They have great support, but sometimes you just need someone like who's right there, who kind of knows what you're going through, knows your website, can just take a look at it and give you recommendations on what to do next. Okay. So if you are interested in that, I would love to have you in there. Go to thewixcollective.com and join the waitlist, or maybe the doors are open right now when you're watching this video and you can just get signed right up. I would love to have you in there. Thank you so much for being here today. Stay tuned for more videos and have fun creating great websites with Wix.